Alright, well, we got together today and did some planting. We got this whole area here. We got a cleared field right there. Oops, there we go. Cleared field right there. But beside it, we're planting a bit of a wooded area. There's already pines that have volunteered. I went through and bush hogged paths because I didn't want to take out all the already growing trees, so I went down the parts that had as little tree growth as possible and made cleared areas. Have a subsoiler for the tractor. Our ground's pretty hard here, so broke up the dirt so it'd make it easier digging. We have a variety of trees we planted today. Later on this fall, we're going to get some pecans from a local distributor. Also, I think we're going to go with some live oak just because they stay green all year long, and I think that's pretty cool. But I went ahead and ripped all the rows though with the subsoiler. There's one more, one there, and one there. And those two or three of them's going to be pecan. And we're going to do a live oak row also. Today's planting though, we had a variety of trees. When I find a tree that is in a location that I don't particularly want it there, I don't want to kill the tree, so I dig them up and I put them in pots and I save them. I actually dug this one up today. I got it out of a ditch on the side of a road. It's a sycamore. Figured, what the heck, you know? It's a tree I don't have to buy. But most of these were persimmons. I got 20 persimmons left over from a planting from this past spring. And I put these in pots so I could keep them watered, and they grew pretty good. So we're planting them. We planted them today. We got them kind of close. They're roughly 8 feet. I didn't even use a measuring tape. We kind of measured a point on the tractor, and I have an auger, so, or people call it a post holer, whatever you want to call it, and dug their holes. Dug them a little extra deep because we do have the trench that the subsoiler made, which is gonna, when the water's coming down, it's gonna sink the water. But also the post holer helps, or the auger helps it get a little bit deeper to make a little reservoir for each tree, because it does get hot and dry. But and that's a little maple I saved from somewhere on the property. They like to come up in the really wet areas, and they come up and they grow good for a little bit, and whenever they get bigger they just die because it's too wet. So I try to get those up and move them. These are American Beauty berries. That oak I actually planted last winter. I stuck it in a pot of mine from an acorn. Dug some mimosas up. They're nitrogen fixers, really strong nitrogen fixers, so hopefully it'll help repair this ground as we're growing things on it. It's another American Beauty berry I dug up from somewhere. I broke up the root cluster and got it going again. Another oak I started from acorn. But this first row is mainly a shrub row. It does have some trees in it, but because we're trying to do a sort of a windbreak, we're gonna do a taper. So we got the shrubs here, the persimmons, they get 20-30 feet tall, and then you'll have the pecans back over there, and they'll get whatever the height they do, in the live oak, and then the pines down there, they'll start the windbreak. But again, we'll leave the pines in here, and the pines are a pioneer species, so I've learned, and then I'm hoping this theory is correct, but I'm trying to leave in trees to help as support trees, because you just pop these things out here and hope they do well, and the sun bakes them, dries them out. There's no good root structures already in place, no biological, no life in the soil, but if you leave the stuff there, then, or the one things that are already growing there, hopefully it'll help support the new ones. This is the end of this row. We ran out of plants at this American Beauty berry. There's a poplar there I saved from somewhere. So like I said, I had persimmons, 20 of them, and 8 feet apart. Doesn't go terribly far, but you know, if they get too thick, that's a heck of a problem to have. Too much fruit. So another poplar right here, and I'm going to continue to find various trees in locations. Like I said, I don't really need them, or I know that they won't ultimately survive long term, and move them over to here. And got a little roadway right here that it's more of a walking path. We come through occasionally with a four-wheeler or something like that, but it's a walking path. So I pulled up the subsoil there and then put it back down to go over that way. And again, we have some good pine growth, but I like deciduous hardwoods better. So, you know, and pines they're good for coming in and getting the forest started, but they just don't have the longevity. So eventually what I might do with them is just come in here once these other trees have taken off and thin these pines out more, and you know, find some eroded ditch to throw them into. Slow down the water as it's barreling down through here when it does rain. It's a little short row here. It only goes to there because I have a little mini swell that I put in a long time ago, and it actually has improved the grass growth quite a bit. This used to all be, you could see just sand and rock on all this, and since I put in little waterways, little cutouts to help slow down the water, it's really picked up the growth of grass and other species of plants that I'm not able to name. But if it wants to grow, I want it to be here. So, you know, it's a whole process of trying to just regenerate the soil and get the place to be alive again. But yeah, this is a good example. I mean, this times, you know, 1,000 is what we had here. But it's coming along. It's looking really nice. This whole field looked like that at one time, and I've been bush hogging it and just throwing various seeds down and hoping that something takes off. I've got this water here, just a little bitty pool. It's not very big, maybe 12 by 15, maybe a little bit longer, but it's pretty deep. It's about waist deep on me. Ask me how I know. But here's a spot we've been working on, and we have just dumped a lot of seed on this, but it's doing okay. It's thicker than it was, but I mean, like a lot of the surrounding area is just this. But again, this whole area was like this before. So we've got a little mimosa here and a little mimosa here, and I grew those from seeds in a pot and put them out here. And then we've had 2 years of drought prior to this year, so they wanted to live. But and in about a year and a half, that's all they've grown. But I can see that I think that the deer have been snacking on them a little bit, and that's okay. There's another little one that's been chewed on. But you know, a lot of this is to help bring wildlife here. But we've tried to have bees out here, and I just don't think we have enough growing here. It's kind of a dead area. They tend to find, you know, garbage cans to try to go to because there's no food out here. So I have to feed my bees, and I wanted to get it to where we have a field of some kind of flowers, and then also draw the deer in as well. So anyway, slowly but surely it's coming along. It's much greener than when we started, and if we were better at, you know, taking out the camera and actually filming something, we would have more progress. But that's what it is. Anyway, that's all we're doing right now, and we'll try to keep remembering to do updates on it and show our progress. Hopefully one of these days it's just a big pretty clump of woods here. And that's it for today though. All right.